Did you know that mice can hear frequencies so high that humans can't even detect them? They use it to communicate, to warn each other, to navigate in the dark. But here's the problem. Cats can hear those exact same frequencies. Every conversation a mouse has ever had inside a house, every little squeak, every signal, every warning, the cat heard all of it. The mouse never knew. And today, one particular mouse is about to find out exactly how bad that problem is, because it just crawled through a gap in the baseboard. It's 2 a.m. The house is dark, the humans are asleep, and from somewhere behind the kitchen wall comes the faintest scratching sound. Then, nothing. Then a small nose appears at the gap in the baseboard. The mouse pauses, sniffs the air. Something doesn't feel right. It never does in a new place, but the smell of food is stronger than the feeling of danger, so it pushes through anyway. This is already a mistake. The mouse just doesn't know it yet. Here's what's actually happening in that tiny brain right now. The moment a mouse enters unfamiliar territory, its stress hormones spike immediately. Its heart rate, already around 600 beats per minute at rest, climbs even higher. Every muscle is primed to move. Scientists call this risk assessment behavior. Short bursts of movement, constant freezing, rapid scanning of every corner. In other words, the mouse already feels like something is wrong, it just can't see what it is. What it also can't see is that on the other side of the kitchen, half hidden in shadow, something is sitting perfectly still. It hasn't moved in a very long time, and it has absolutely no intention of moving first. The mouse starts moving. It hugs the wall, which is exactly what mice always do. There's a scientific name for it: thigmotaxis. The instinct to stay close to surfaces because open space feels exposed and dangerous. It's a smart instinct. In the wild, it keeps mice hidden and covered. But in a house, it does something else entirely. It makes them completely predictable. Cats don't patrol randomly. Research into domestic cat behavior shows that cats identify high probability zones, the route prey is most likely to use, and then simply wait there, patiently, sometimes for hours. Every logical route a mouse would take has already been memorized and quietly watched. The mouse is following its instincts perfectly, doing everything right. It has absolutely no idea those same instincts are walking it in a straight line toward something it still hasn't spotted. But then, it does something unexpected. It stops, right in the middle of the kitchen floor, out in the open, away from every wall, which is the one place it was never supposed to go, and the one place that wasn't being watched. Here is one of the strangest discoveries in animal behavior research. In 2010, scientists at McGill University found that mice have a completely hardwired fear response to a chemical found in cat fur and saliva, not learned or trained, encoded directly into their DNA. They tested this on mice raised in sterile laboratory environments, mice that had never encountered a cat in their lives. It didn't matter. The moment those mice were exposed to just the smell of this compound, no cat present, just the scent on cloth, they froze instantly. Stress hormones flooded their system. They stopped exploring and pressed themselves against the nearest wall. The fear of cats is older than memory. So here is the strange part. The mouse is standing in the middle of the kitchen floor right now, completely exposed, and it knows something is wrong. It can smell it. That ancient chemical alarm somewhere deep in its brain. But it isn't running. It's waiting. Which means it already knows something too. It knows that whatever is in this kitchen has been watching the walls, watching the routes, watching every logical place a mouse would go. So, it went nowhere logical. It went to the one place that made no sense. And for the first time tonight, something shifts, because now It's not clear who is hunting who. What happens next takes about 2 seconds. A shadow moves on the far side of the kitchen, low and silent, cutting across the floor toward the open space where the mouse is standing. Fast. The mouse doesn't run toward the wall, it runs toward the shadow, directly at it. This sounds insane. It is, statistically speaking, insane. But research into prey animal behavior has documented something remarkable in mice under extreme pressure. A response called the confusion effect. When escape routes are cut off, some mice do the last thing a predator expects. They move toward the threat instead of away from it, breaking the predator's targeting instinct at the critical moment. Predators are wired to chase things that run away. The moment something runs at them instead, there is a fraction of a second of confusion. A reset. A moment where the brain has to recalculate everything. A fraction of a second is all a mouse needs. It cuts hard left at the last possible moment, shoots past the washing machine, finds the gap in the wall, and it is gone before anything can recalculate. The gap behind the washing machine is empty. The kitchen is dark again. And somewhere near the refrigerator, a cat is sitting completely still, staring at the spot where a mouse used to be. I want to be clear about something. I knew about that gap. I've always known about that gap. I let it go because I found the whole thing more interesting than the alternative. It made some genuinely impressive decisions under pressure, and I respect that. That is my full and complete account of what happened. It has nothing to do with the fact that it ran directly at me. Nothing at all.